What's good, football fans? Back at you once again with another video. So let's just go on and say it. That first game, it was a bit of a letdown. It was kind of ugly in certain areas. But today I wanted to come on and really take a look at the rookie. Take a look at Jayden Daniels. Now, in the couple of videos that I looked at from the preseason of his, I really tried to focus in on what I thought the coaches were doing to try to set him up for some success. And from seeing how the game plan was put out there, you could definitely see that that's what they were trying to do. That said, let's just hop right into the film, and we'll start with the first drive. But on this very first play right here, I think this is just a case, rookie jitters, whatever you want to call it. Very first play, he's trying to get it out there as quickly as possible, and he just throws it before Brian Robinson is turning around looking at him. It's just as simply what it is right there. The pass went backwards about a half a yard. They had a better view from this from the broadcast booth, but as you see, the ball goes across. And I think at first Brian Robinson thought that it was just a incomplete pass, and then thankfully he turned around and tried to get his hands on it. Otherwise, that could have gotten really ugly. But you watch it from this direction, and you see the rookie, he steps to the side. He knows where he's going to throw it to. He just throws it a little bit too far behind the guy. Simple mistake right here that could have really turned into something bad. As I said already, thankfully, Brian Robinson was able to get his wits, if you would, and get this ball out of bounds a little bit, because otherwise that might have been 6 points in the other direction. Very next play, same philosophy in the other direction. This time he doesn't throw it too far behind him. It hits him perfectly. And, Brian Robinson gets out in the open field a little bit here and is able to pick up a little bit of that yardage. I think they get him down at looks like about the 19 there. Okay, so we get to the first time that we actually see him scramble with the ball in his hands. And I'm going to tell you, folks, I actually see at least one person down the field that is open enough in a situation where he could have gotten the first down right there. A lot better than what Jayden could have done anyway. And, I'm wondering if maybe his eyes weren't peeled on where to run with the ball and where the defender was there, and not really paying attention to where the line of scrimmage was, and not seeing his man down the field down there breaking into the open area, which would have been a lot closer to a first down than what he was. Watch from this angle right here. You'll see him when he breaks off to the side right here. He is definitely being chased after, but he has not passed the line of scrimmage yet. And you see Ertz right there is breaking open, and he decides to not throw it to Ertz and to run with it. He has not crossed the line of scrimmage there yet. And Ertz, to me, could have probably gotten the first down there. Here's something new that I'm going to be using in videos this year. But if you watch this, you can see it right on the chart. As Jayden goes off to the side, you can see 86 breaking across the middle right there. And he is just directly wide open in the field. And he has a lane to get that first down. Just easier to see when you see it, from the top view up here. And right there, 86 is breaking now. He's got 0 on his side right there, but as soon as he breaks free, 86 is there. 35 is breaking down towards the ball, and yeah, he's heading towards the first down marker. And as you see, Jayden hadn't crossed the line of scrimmage there. Now, my younger nephew is always asking me why they run these crap plays, these little dump offs in the middle that are not going to do anything. And I always try to tell him, hey, man, you got to understand the game and see that they're setting it up. Because eventually Jayden's going to pull that ball down and run with it, right? So, it's just football 101 to us older heads. But some of the younger folks, they still don't, get that you set plays up like this. And people that don't know a lot about football don't know that either. Like, why we not run, the 40 gut each time and do this and do that? Games change. Now you got a mobile quarterback, and you need to be able to react to what he can do. And if this option play works well with him, which it does, and you'll see that further on in the game when he's able to use this option to his advantage. Now, this play right here is one that I feel like Jayden made the right call by running with it, even though he did have options to be able to throw it as he was on the move. As you see right here, you had John Bates right there, who it's no guarantee that Bates makes that catch. The line of scrimmage is somewhere around the 31, 32, and but there's no guarantee that Bates makes this catch. But if he does, maybe he's able to turn and get the first down there. You don't know. But I think actually Jayden makes the right call here to run for the first down. But the problem is, of course, you know, the 500-pound gorilla in the room, he doesn't slide. And it's kind of odd the way that he goes to the ground, too, because he leaves himself open to being hit really hard right there. And you know, we don't want to see that. And I'm certain he doesn't either, even though I know that he popped back up with a smile on his face. This is something that's a big problem, and I'm sure they're already all over him about correcting it. But if he slides right there, does he get the first down? I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. But one thing, you know, to remember, if he doesn't get the first down there because he slides, it's what, like 3rd down and 1 at that point, or 3rd and 2 at the worst. You know, sometimes you have to give yourself up. And in situations like that, when you give yourself up, sometimes the defense might accidentally pop him too, and he might add another 15 on. But when he goes down with that shoulder like that, he's giving himself up as a runner, and he's open to hits. I remember going through this conversation over and over again with Robert Griffin. Like, you know, when he doesn't slide the correct way, it opens himself up to hits. I talked about this during the draft process, and I had a lot of people shoot me down. Oh, you know, why everybody's always talking about he doesn't know how to slide, blah, blah, blah. He take care of himself. Okay, now here we are. This kid needs to learn how to slide. Another nice little short route right here. And Jayden fires a nice crisp pass with it too. But this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about when I say they're setting him up for success. I mean, this is the kind of routes that you need for a young quarterback. Get him used to things, get him used to the flow of things. Then you take a shot downfield, you know. And Ertz is the perfect guy to be able to hit across the middle right here, you know. Ertz is a guy that you would want in this situation. He's got sure hands. He's good at these little stop routes. And this could be a bread and butter type play right here to gain you, you know, 5, 6, 7 yards every time that you go to it. As I said, nice crisp route, nice crisp pass. Ertz makes the, you know, the catch, goes to the ground. Now in this next play, this is that long run from Jayden. I think it was like 17 yards where he tiptoes the sideline. And, you know, I'm not trying to get nitpickish here, but he definitely sees something that he does not like, rolls out of the pocket, which actually creates, you know, a pretty decent stretch in the field for him and his receivers in the process. And the problem is, once again, I'm not so certain that he's looking to throw once he escapes the pocket, because if you look, he's got 3 guys in the wide open field down there. Line of scrimmage is somewhere around the 41. But if you look down the field, look at this right here. Look, boom. He's got 3 guys breaking down the field that are wide open right there. And he chooses to run with the ball, which, as I said, turns out to be the right move. And Dyami Brown actually gets a pretty good block right here down the field, too, to break him open right there. As you see, like number 2 right there. Watch. Wow, it's number 3. Knocks him off and breaks Jayden loose. Otherwise, this would have been stopped. He would have gotten a first down, but that defender was just right there about to hit him. So not so certain he would have grabbed all those yards, but as you see, tips down the sideline there. This opened up view of the field shows, you know, a different tail of the tape, so to speak, in this particular situation where, you know, you see these receivers break free as he's making his turn over here, and the defenders all are paying attention to him. And, you know, you got guys that have got a step on their guys, at least, I don't know, what, 2 yards in each case there. Any of them. If he just lets it go and lets the ball loose, you got this guy breaking open. 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 And here he is. All he has, if he starts his motion to throw somewhere around right here and throws it down the field, he's got a good gain there. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy these nice long runs too, but he almost takes a hit right here, but he does stay in bounds. You watch it from the other direction, and you can see his eyes are down the field, but as I was saying, I'm not so certain that he's really paying attention to throwing the ball right there. Once he breaks off, it appears like he's, you know, paying attention to running down the field, and really that's the only thing on his mind. Thankfully, Dyami plays the whole field, makes that hit right there, and keeps number 3 from, you know, putting a hit on our quarterback, because he would have got him. And here's that play from this angle, and as I was saying, as he starts to roll out, you know, he's way behind the line of scrimmage right here. You can see all of his receivers breaking. You got, I mean, each and every one of them are literally wide open as he hits the angle on the side over here. All he has to do is turn and flip. Look at the amount of space in between Zach Ertz and the next closest man. He's got a good, I don't know what, maybe 2 yards on his man right here. You know, McLaurin's got a good 2 or 3 yards on his man right here. And, you know, we got a breaking man down the field too, even though that man only has a step. So you're kind of taking a chance with flinging that. So I understand not making maybe that pass. But, you know, these two are inexcusable. And if you look, Diambi's breaking across the middle too. And that's in the first down territory. And he can avoid any hits by doing that. And I get it, as I said before, I think his mind is trained to just think about the big play. In his eyes, the big play was running the ball. This little route here, I think this was a setup for them to try to have something further down, you know, in the game, so to speak, with McCaffrey maybe having a pass because he's a former quarterback. And I'll get to that in a second in the film because I do have that other play further on down the line. But it really doesn't bring much this time around. It's almost like they were trying to set it up and see where it went. You had a bunch of guys pulling over here off the line. This could have been something, but it was sniffed out. Defenders said, no, this is not working, and were able to, put their hands on McCaffrey before he's able to even get behind those pulling linemen right there, which he had a lane once he got past those guys. They sniffed it out and made the tackle. This angle doesn't really give you any kind of insight into anything. Once he gets the ball, you already see the lineman out there, but yeah, the defenders just get around that side there quicker than the blockers can set up. You watch it in real time, you'll see what I'm saying. They just get around them too fast. This play right here kind of stung a little bit because this was a decent gain, and it probably would have led to a score if it would have been able to stand. But Zacchaeus makes, he goes to make a block here and accidentally grabs the guy's face mask. And in the broadcast angle, you could clearly see he grabs his face mask right there. It sucks because B-Rob was able to roll off of that hit and, do some big things there. I really love that back, man. Number 8 is a thorough open field hitter, man. This dude can lay some shots. He can do a little roll move like that. Like, I love his grit. But, whatever, that flag kills it. You watch from this angle, you can't really see it because it's too far back, but he does grab his face mask right there. And then this play right here, he was just a little bit off with this play. Otherwise, this could have been a first down right here. But maybe if Zacchaeus is 6 inches taller, maybe this is a catch. I don't know, but he was just a little bit off. You can see it from this angle right here. It hits his hands, but Zacchaeus just doesn't have a long enough frame to pull this in. Maybe he just doesn't have big enough hands. I'm not sure, but it definitely hits his hands. And of course, that was the drive that ended with the missed 47-yard field goal, which is, man, this franchise and this field goal kicker situation, is it ever going to get fixed? Now, here's the play that I completely understand why he took off and did not look downfield, because he was being pursued by someone that was fast enough to make him change his thought pattern. Now, could he have reestablished the pocket on the outside over here and found someone downfield? Maybe. That's open for debate. But once he was spooked, and he was spooked pretty hard, his thought pattern was, I need to get out of here and do something with his play. So I don't really have a problem, per se, with him escaping the pocket, making a run down the field. It was a hell of a gain, actually. What's that, 16 yards there? 15, 16 yards there? I'm not sure. Just the problem I have, of course, is the way that he ends the play. Like, what are you doing there, my guy? You're tumbling now. I saw RG3 do something not so similar to this, but something like this. Not a tumble roll here on the ground. Not even a good one, by the way. But I saw RG3 doing something lackadaisical like this, end up getting hurt, and his career was never the same. I mean, you can make arguments as to why it was never the same, but look at that, man. Like, that is not sliding, okay? And I don't understand. He really was in a situation where all he had to do was just slide right there. Just put your legs down and slide. And someone has taught this kid or not taught this kid the wrong way. Either taught this kid the wrong way or just not taught this kid. It's kind of hard to believe that he wouldn't have been taught to this point, because he's been a starter, for several years at 2 different programs. So not understanding why this is still an issue here. And I know somebody out there is going to say, oh, give the kid a break. You know, he had this many yards rushing and this, and this. It's not what is in the moment. It's the long term that I'm looking for here, guys. Long term. I mean, do I like seeing this guy take off running and getting big chunks of yards and knowing that this is, you know, a dynamic player? Hell yeah, I like it. I want him to slide right here so he does not get hurt. He's leaving himself open to just get nailed right there. I'm thinking he's probably not going to get as much credit right here as he probably should in this play. He gets rid of it when he knows he's about to take a sack. He's got guys closing in on him. He knows he's going to take a hit. He can't do anything else, and he just shuffle past. And it's actually somebody in that direction. So, hey, as long as this isn't picked off by the defender, then this is completely 100% what he should do. Don't take the sack. Don't try to roll the other direction and mess up. Don't throw the ball to the wrong person. Just throw it down. Get rid of it. Little pistol formation here and a nice little pass to Eckler here right in the center of the field. Nothing special, short and sweet. Eckler is able to roll off a couple defenders and be able to create some space and be able to get yardage. This guy is going to do big things in the burgundy and gold, y'all. I've got a feeling that we're going to come to really love Eckler coming out of that backfield. I mean, this guy can do big things in the open field. A lot of people were trying to think that maybe he had gotten, you know, too old, a little too long in the tooth, if you would. But no, I don't think so, man. This guy, maybe he's not, you know, what he used to be, which is overused as a Charger. But he's still got some juice in the tank, man. I love to see him roll off the hits and just keep going. Like, yeah, that's what you want to see, a nice little roll off the hit there. Watch it in real time right here. Yeah, that's what you want to see. See? He ate both of those hits. Yeah, I like that. This was really the first chance we got to see him, you know, throw a decent fade pass here, trying to get the ball down the field. And the ball just sails a little bit, but he puts it somewhere where only Terry would have had a chance to make that catch. And, you know, it's debatable whether or not Terry had a break or not, but as you can see right there, Terry is in line. If the pass was, I don't know, what, 12 feet lower or whatever right there in that little area right there. Yeah, it's just, ball was overthrown, but Terry had a little bit of a step right here. You can't really see anything from the other angle. It's actually a shame, too, because he was locked in on this play right here, and he missed two guys coming across the center of the field that were wide open. I think the pressure broke his concentration on this play right here and spooked him and made him feel like he had to take off, because he misses a man right here who is past the first down marker. He's got another man right here who's way past the first down marker and is within his spot. Another man right here that he could hit that's way past the first down marker and in his spot wide open. And the man down here at the bottom of the field, I believe that's De'Ami Brown, has a step. He could drop in there. Jayden feels that pressure and he reacts. You know, he's got a man coming right here. So maybe he's a little, you know, not sure what's going to happen there. So his idea is to roll off, and he sees the middle of the field there is wide open so he can be able to run through it. So I'm not completely 100% upset about this because he's able to make the play. But at the end of the play, he decides to do this thing, fall into the field by his shoulder again. And this time, he loses his helmet. Watch it in real time. You can see the moment that he loses that helmet. It just flows off. Now, I'm glad he didn't get hurt here, but, you know, I don't really understand why he's chancing this. This is definitely something that shouldn't be chanced. And it's something that I hate to see my quarterback lose his helmet at any point, at any, you know, level of the game. And we saw our quarterback lose it twice in this one right here. Don't know what's up with that, but I'll touch on that when we get to the second incident. I don't really like this right here happening at all. If you watch it from above, you'll see there were several people open while he's moving around the pocket right here. Now, obviously, once he gets in this section right here where he's trying to move, there's nothing you can do, and you can't see him on the screen right here. But you know, this is when he first feels spooked, right in this moment right here. And if you look around, he's got a lot of different guys moving around the field that are in position right here. Like Ertz has an angle. Now, this could be these guys not on the same page fully yet, but you've got 1, 2, 3 guys that he could have hit while he's standing here, and it's only a split second before he reacts to 52 coming at him and the linemen that are in front of him. But there is a chance for him to release the ball in this moment. Watch it roll through one time. Yeah, I just feel like he could have gotten rid of the ball at several points right here, especially right here, right there. Like that ball should be released right here. Instead of maybe him juking out to the side, he releases right here and he's all good. And you can see from this angle that he's definitely paying attention. You know, he gets spooked. Zero spooks him off, you know, a little bit, but he resets and he sees his guys. But the moment that he sees that guy bearing down on him right here, he sees that his tackle has lost his, you know, his job over here or whatever the case may be. And it's time for him to escape the pocket. And that's where the play dies. But, you know, there was guys that were open right here. We already saw it from the other angles. These guys are open. Jayden was actually looking for the long ball right here and missed the guys across the middle is what happened. No matter what, though, we've got to get this guy to learn how to slide because we can't. I mean, look at that. They obviously are not allowed to headhunt like that either. So, you know, that's a thing as well. But, you know, this is just something we can't have happening. Again, nice little setup play right here. We'll see further on down the road where this actually comes through and does something for the team. I like these option plays. I like the setups. I like what they're doing with this offense so far. Obviously, we want to see more execution. We want to see more points. Technically speaking, if we had a better defense, we might have a better game plan all the way around. This play right here had touchdown written all over it. It was just a fraction too far, too long, whatever you want to say, just a little bit overthrown. Terry had a step and then some. This was a touchdown. Just, man, they get on the same page with this pass right here, guys. This is 6 points. And this is a product of a good arm and Terry running an unbelievable route. That is just one hell of a route. He just kills his guy right there, blows right past him. And yeah, just a little bit overthrown. Watch it back from this angle. Offensive line doing a nice job, I might add. Nice trench work by that line. And Jayden lets the ball fling, and it just is a little bit outside of what Terry can get to. Now, I heard a couple people yesterday saying, oh, Terry needs to lay out for that. If he lays out, I'm not certain he even still makes that catch anyway. But it was just one of those situations where he was as extended as he could possibly be, and it was just too far. The defender just makes a good play on this ball right here. This was actually a nice little crisp pass right here across the middle, and maybe it shouldn't have been thrown. I don't know. You can make an argument that states maybe he tried to force that in there, and 3 almost picks Jayden off for the first time in his career. Or you could say that Eckler maybe didn't make a good enough play on the ball. Whatever way you want to say right there, this almost was a turnover. Sorry, that's not Eckler. That's Ertz there. I like this little route right here to Jamison Crowder, who makes his catch and, you know, shows he's still got some wheels on him and makes that, you know, that turn right there and gets what was that, about 4, 5, 6 yards right there? Pretty decent little game. Yeah, I think it's 6 yards right there, but yeah, decent little game right there, Crowder. Here's another instance where Jayden takes off down the field, and there was another guy wide open here that he completely misses right there. And I'm not certain if he's looking up top up there. I'll have to see it from the other angle here in a second, but he definitely misses that man streaking down the center of the field. And we all know that Jayden's got the arm where he can just unload that cannon, because that play is wide open. This guy right here can shoot this way, and this is probably 6 points, y'all. Instead, he pulls it down and almost takes a hit here at the line of scrimmage, but makes it through, gets away from outstretched arms right there. My opinion, he probably should have slid right here, okay? You're in the clear right here. You see a defender to the side of you. You see a defender in front of you. You know there's people behind you. The closest blocker is 5, 6 yards away. What's wrong with sliding here? But instead, he decides to put his shoulder down, and, you know, he's still taking a chance here. Like, he's not giving himself up by diving to the field like that. Like, the defender can meet him with a hit. Now, we might view it as dirty, but the defender can meet him with a hit right there. He's not, not sliding means that he's leaving himself open to take that hit. If he doesn't learn how to slide, I promise you, I absolutely 100% promise you, this will eventually turn out bad for him. If you watch it back from this angle, you can see that he looks to the outside receiver and he looks back across the center of the field before he takes off. I don't know if he reads that pressure right there, like the line is breaking down, but his man is right here and breaking across the field. And as I said before, we all know Jayden can make that pass, but I think maybe he got spooked right here thinking that it was time for him to take off. And, he made his moves. I just wish he would have slid right here. I mean, he still got the first down. I mean, let's just be honest here. He's not gaining anything by throwing the shoulder. He's not gaining anything. If you watch it back from the eye in the sky, you'll see 17 has a step on that defender. And that's enough for him to be able, if the ball's released like right there, before he ever feels any pressure, before he ever does anything, there's enough right there for him to be able to just dart right across the field. There's nobody else over here. This right here is 6 points or a good 35 yard gain. I believe what happened was he was watching Zacchaeus and Zacchaeus' route and did not pay attention to where the safety went, as far as, the safety was shifted back over to the side over there and was kind of leaning towards Zacchaeus down the field and really wasn't leaned towards where Terry was at. And with the type of speed that Terry has, Terry would have just darted down the field and been gone. So here we are, 4th and 1 in the third quarter, and we see the coach go for it, right? Remember, I've been talking about setups this whole game, about why they gave the ball to B-Rob on these little dump off, runs up the gut. I told you that my nephew was always making comments about, well, this is why right here. Nice little setup right here, and they need 1 yard, and they're able to fake it to B-Rob and roll out and get that 1 yard. And it ends up being, a race to the sideline between David and Jayden Daniels, which I believe we all know that Jayden Daniels is always probably going to win, but that doesn't stop David from trying to get him. And David probably never honestly had a chance of getting Jayden right here, but he, as you see, barely misses. I never have been the biggest fan of planned quarterback runs, but I understand when you have a dynamic quarterback such as this, that's what you do. I think that he may have missed his opportunity to maybe cut outside and cut it up on this one, though, because as you see from the top up here, as he goes to go for the run, I believe the play is for him to try to run up the gut there and cut through a hole. But his eyes are probably going to get a little better as he goes with the game and the speed of the game to be able to read this a little bit better. Because if he cuts outside right here, there's really nobody to stop him from being able to get a nice big gain down the field. If you look, there's a lane right here. See, this defender is starting to shift and change to go into this, this hole right here. This defender is up here watching the wide receiver. These guys are engaged all across the line right here. If he kicks out right here, he's got a pretty good lane to run wherever he wants to. But I think he's stuck to the play design, which is probably what his coaches are telling him to do. So I'm not trying to say that he should go against that. I'm just trying to say I think as his vision gets better in the NFL with the speed of the game, I think this right here will change for him, and he will juke outside and make a big gain there. As I already said, though, I am not the biggest fan of these planned quarterback runs, especially not ones, where your 6'4", 220-pound quarterback is running directly into the back of the line. Now, here was his first official taking of a sack here. And I think it's a product of him holding on to the ball too long, trying to wait for something to open up downfield, in the long game. Because if he's looking at a quick hit, he's got guys open right now. I think that he's looking down at the bottom of the screen down there and then feels the pressure and just gets hit before he can react to anything. because you can see you got Eckler down here at the bottom of the screen that opens up and is got a nice little step down there at the bottom. You see you got McCaffrey across the center of the field. Jayden doesn't really see these guys because he's got all these defenders in his face. The offensive line did not do their job here. I just showed you what he was looking at down the field, and you see that if he had a couple of seconds, he probably could have had at least two guys wide open for him to be able to hit. But as soon as he puts the ball, you know, kind of back to where he's paying attention to what's going on, he's got guys in his face. Look, Zero has already made a move on that lineman and is coming around, and there's nothing he can do about it. And as you know, as we can see with our eyes, but he can't see already, 8 over there to the side, he's already making his move. And as Zero crashes in and just makes that, you know, that side of the offensive line collapse, Jayden kind of bounces back right into the defender. And guys, this is a nightmare scenario because your quarterback takes a big hit to the center of his back and the ball pops out because it's in his hand right there, and that defender literally smack, and that ball pops out as you see. And just, we got really lucky that our lineman was able to just come right in and fall on that, and no turnover happened there because that could have led to very bad things. And as you see, Vita Vea, number 50 right there, he just pushes his way through the line as well. I would put this on the offensive line just at first glance, but if you watch this right here, he's got Zach Ertz coming across the middle right there on a quick hit. He could hit him instantly right now. He's got McCaffrey. This is before the play breaks down. He waits a little bit. I believe he's looking outside, and it's just the end of the play. So that split second, this is, and you know, I could slow it down and make it look like it's an eternity here with the film, but in real life, that's just a split second right there, and he's watching his main receiver, and the protection breaks down. Honestly, this could go either way depending on what your opinion is as far as blame goes, but it goes down as a sack, and you do not like to see your quarterback taking hits like this. Watch it back one more again in real time. Yeah, nightmare scenario, y'all. Now, this was the play I was talking about with, it looked like they were trying to set Luke McCaffrey up for a pass somewhere on the field earlier in the game. And as you see, it's pretty much the same play, except for this time, when McCaffrey gets the ball, he's about 3 or 4 yards deeper in the backfield. And as you see right here, Jayden Daniels instantly shoots to this side of the field and gets ready for a pass. Now, this probably could have happened had McCaffrey let go of the ball coming back this direction. Now, you see one defender automatically saw what was going on. Another defender saw what was going on. But you already had something set up right here and a man blocking the backside. If he lets go of that pass, he decides not to. And this whole play just dies on the vine. Now, who do you go with here? Do you say that this is a mistake? I say yes. I think McCaffrey should have let go of that ball right there. There's no guarantee that Jayden makes that catch, and it is a backward pass, so that there is a little bit of, you know, a chance that you take here that this could go the wrong direction. He chooses to suck it down, and when he does, he actually makes a little bit more of a gain than we probably thought he would have on this. But you have to ask yourself, what could have been right here? Like, if he lets go of the ball right here with this play set up on this side of the field, you've got Jayden Daniels over here and 1, 2, 3 linemen and a man downfield. Could this have been a 30 to 40 yard play here? We'll never, ever know. But it definitely is worth asking the question, right? This play right here was just a decent contested ball for Zacchaeus down here on the side, and the defender just makes a good play on it. Otherwise, I believe this is probably a first down right here, and they don't have to punt the ball with another 3 and out. You watch it back from this angle, and it actually appears like the defender may have been able to make a play on that and intercept it, but he wasn't really trying to do that. And between him and Zacchaeus, they both kind of just let the ball come off of their fingertips and nobody makes the catch. But I'm not going to say this is a bad pass. This is just a good play by the defense and still almost makes the play there for Zacchaeus. Watch it in real time, you can see Yeah. Now, this was a nice play right here. I really like the way that he went through his first couple reads and was able to find Ertz right here across the middle of the field and get a good chunk of yardage right here. It was a good start to the drive. As you see, he comes off, makes his first read right there. He sees that it's not there. Instantly sees Ertz, though, and comes back across and picks up a good chunk of yards. I believe that's about 7 or 8, maybe 9 yards there. This play right here, they're looking for some lanes, and they thought they had one right here. Terry makes a decent little move to the center of it, but it just doesn't open up as the play gets further along. Watch it back from this angle, you can see the hole a lot better. It just closes before Terry can get through it. But it's a decent little gain right there on a short gain type of play. And all those option plays, those fakes where they handed the ball off to Robinson and you thought to yourself, okay, well, maybe JD could have made a move to the outside with that. This is the payoff right here. And the defense collapses. One guy's too far outside, can't do anything. Jayden just cuts it right back. And this is a bread and butter type play for him. He's going to be able to make defenses choose the wrong thing many times over in his career, I believe. That right there is going to be something that I think that he's going to be able to do very well as long as he doesn't experience a lot of injury. A little dance there at the end too, little what? You see it from this direction. The defense thinks 100% they bite completely on B-Rob. They all crash down on him thinking this is definitely going to be what they do. Jayden's able to do his thing, go the other direction. 6 points. I have a feeling this style of play right here is going to be something that we see a lot of this year. Nice little routes to the running back out of the backfield. We have a stable of backs that can do pretty decently catching passes. So I could see them making that a big thing this year, especially Eckler, who has been a big piece for several years in a high-powered offense out in LA or San Diego, whatever the hell you want to call it these days. I know it's LA now, but my point is that I think he played a few years in San Diego as well. But you see Jayden doing a real good job here, going through his progressions, not taking any shortcuts, decent little fake here, little pump fake here, and he catches Eckler, breaking out right here, and it just dumps it off to him. It's a decent little pass. And I believe had he seen somebody else open, he probably would have fed it to them. I believe this could be a primary source of getting some decent yardage for this team, of 5 to 15 yards chunks at a time. Eckler is really good at this kind of thing, eating hits and rolling off of them. Without a doubt, I think the coaches should definitely be sitting Jayden down after this game and having a long talk with him. I'm not certain what he's doing here, but this is definitely not what his coaches are probably telling him to do. Giving himself up. I do realize that this play right here doesn't have a lot of options for him, so he feels like he needs to extend his body out and get as much yardage as he possibly can, which my guess is that is what he's been taught his entire life. He's got a long, lanky frame that people have been telling him to stretch out. This game is a little different than what he's played, though. In college, you end up with a lot more guys that could do a lot more things. But in the NFL, everybody can do something. So it's like, he's kind of setting himself up here for a big hit where his bell's going to get rung or something's going to happen that doesn't need to happen. Maybe the coaching is not setting him up for success when it comes to this kind of thing here either. But I believe he felt like he just fall into that hole right there and get the peak amount of yardage. And then if he'd have cut to the outside, I think he was thinking in his mind maybe that's where the danger is at. I don't know, man. They need to get something going better where he has better options in his brain than just doing this right here. I mean, obviously, if he gets himself up and slides right here, the defender is going to hit him before he's ever even in his slide. So this is a debatable subject or a debatable situation right here on this play right here, if he should slide or if he shouldn't. But if you watch back from this angle, I don't believe it was ever an option in his brain to do anything but react the same way he did. And as you see, when he hits the ground right there, he's leaving his head wide open to be terrorized by defenders. And there are plenty of players that will take that hit on him regardless if they get ejected or if they get a 15-yard penalty or whatever the case may be. There are plenty of players in the NFL that will take that hit on him. I felt like the deeper we went in this game, I'm not going to say that offense got more desperate. I just feel like they were trying to do more as far as trying to create. And I feel like, maybe that Jayden Daniels has, even though he's a very humble kid, has a Superman complex at times, thinking that he needs to do a lot more or more than what the play or what the situation maybe calls for. Now, in this situation right here, it's a halfback option play. He makes the correct call by sucking it in because the defense reacts completely to B-Rob, thinking that he's just going to dump it off, and makes his move towards the sideline. Now, what you have to understand is that the defense is now keying on him because they know what kind of ability this kid has, and they've seen it all game long with him running around. Kind of reminds me of, the way that the defenses used to react to Michael Vick and other guys, once they kind of start seeing that what he's doing here, he keeps finding lightning inside of a bottle over and over again, they just start crashing on him. And this defender right here almost gets Jayden. Jayden needs to be careful with that because he almost takes it. And he jumps over it, so there's that. But the key here, folks, is we want this guy to be able to protect himself. We want this guy to be able to be given every option to be able to protect himself. And, is this really it right here? I don't know. He's fast. He's athletic. That's just a good play on the defender's behalf right there. Or maybe he should be trying to juice to that sideline a little bit faster. One of the two. I'll leave that as y'all's call on that one right there. But in my opinion, there's no long-term lifespan of a quarterback that's, barely missing shots to the knees like that right there. And here's sack number 2, and I don't view this one as Jayden's fault. He's not even off his heels all the way, and he's already having to spin and turn. He's got 2 guys already bearing down on him, one coming off the edge, one coming straight up the gut, who nobody put a hat on. Like, Eckler did not put any type of chip on him at all. He missed it. And, yeah, man, Jayden's just a sitting duck instantly. And as he goes to try to run around that corner, there's another man waiting for him. So there's just nothing he could do. Watch it back from this direction, and you see the chip is missed by Eckler. And then, you got Bates over there, and they, between him and Wiley, they can't do anything with that man. And then, David's collapsing up the center. And then you got number 8 over there who's coming around that edge, and he has no chance at all. So he has to stop, and he just gets hit multiple times. That's a scary. That could have turned out a lot worse than it was. Thankfully, he didn't get hurt. If you watch it back in real time, all kinds of things going on in that play right there. Offensive line just collapsed. This play right here was probably doomed before it ever began. I mean, 3rd down and 20. You're down by multiple scores. The team knows, that defense, they know that you're going to throw the ball, so they just protect the long parts of the field. And they leave it open for, Eckler to be able to kind of hop in the center of the field here, make this catch. It was 3rd and 20, so they give up, 13 yards, 14 yards there. It doesn't really matter to them on that play. In the overall aspect of things, this play means nothing, but it's good to see in Jayden's development that he doesn't try to force the ball down the field and just turn it over. He is more, in tune to being able to just dump it off to Eckler and get what they can get. Finally able to find Terry for a decent little chunk here. He only had like 2 catches on the day, I believe, but decent little route and a nice crisp pass to him. This is something that we should probably see more of, but the way that the game plan kind of worked out, it just didn't happen as much as we need to see it, because Terry only getting the ball twice, we're not going to do well in games. He is our guy. He's the guy that we have to make sure we find ways to get open. Nice route here by Zacchaeus, and I really like the execution on this too. With Jayden, instantly you can kind of see that that's the guy that he's definitely set to hit. Nice route. Nice pass. I mean, this is a 1st down. You want to see plays like this, in drives and games. Obviously, the defense is obviously playing more back in zone now and more cued in on trying to stop the long ball. But you like to see big chunks of yardage being, taken out with nice, crisp routes like that and good passes. Not much more you could ask for out of your rookie quarterback. I mean, you want him to stay in there in the pocket, not, lose his grip on things and start making, turnovers, committing turnovers. He didn't do that. He kept his mind. He kept, doing the smart play and trying to get yardage instead of just trying to overplay the situation and look for nothing but touchdowns on every play. A lot of times young guys just mess up with that. As this play progresses, you can see that the pressure and Jayden having to move really killed this play because he had his man coming off the top up there. He's wide open right there. That's the play he's looking for. But as that's going on, you'll see right here the linebacker puts a hand out and almost touches him. If Jayden's able to let go of the pass right there, you see he pulls his arm out to let it go, but then he sucks it back in because he feels the pressure. Watch it back from this direction right here. You can see it right there. Like he's getting ready to let it go, but he feels that pressure. You see him turn? Like, feels that pressure and just he starts spinning around like, oh, maybe I shouldn't throw it there. Turns and looks at McCaffrey because he's thinking about running. He didn't like the read over there. Turns to look at McCaffrey to see if he likes that read. Doesn't like that read. Yep, the pressure's still there. Time for me to move. And in the process, he actually makes a pretty good choice here as to what he does right there. I'm not certain why he didn't throw to McCaffrey right there, though, coming off the side. As I said before, once he makes that decision to move out of the pocket, I feel like he may be looking at the field more as a runner and not as a passer. And it's going to take some time in this game for him to be able to decide if that's what he is, if he's a passer once he's spooked or if he's a runner. Right here, he's showing that he is a runner. If you see it from the eye in the sky right here, maybe, just maybe, he didn't throw it to Zacchaeus right there because he saw 31 across the center of the field. Maybe he read that. As the play starts to go further, though, you have to wonder when he starts to move off the field right here, why he didn't throw it to McCaffrey. You see McCaffrey is wide open right here, like coming across the side. He has a step too. Look at all this open field right here. 17 over here, Terry. He could hit Terry right here. For all that argument's sake, if he turns back around, I know it's across his body, but 14's back open over here. I don't like that cross body stuff, though, with 31 in between. The cross body, that's just the stuff that interceptions have made off of. But 12 right there, Luke McCaffrey. That right there, my friends, could have been a first down. Now, I'm not trying to say anything except for when he's on the run, it appears like he stops looking at the receivers. He could have thrown the ball right there to 12, and he would have had a nice little game right there. And as you see, our guys were already starting to move to where they probably could have had a decent little blocking lane, set up right there, where 86 could have smashed back down on 54, and 17 would have kept his guy across. 12 could have had a decent little space to be able to run right there. McCaffrey could have done something with that. Now, I'm not getting down on the kid because he was able to still gain 8 yards. So, it's not like the play died on the vine completely and he lost like 20 yards out of it. It's just that, these are the type of plays right here where as he gets more progressed in his game, we want to see him throwing the ball right there. See some nice patience on this play right here. He waits for his guy and he makes the pass that he needs to underneath right there to Zach Ertz. Ertz is able to get the first down and get it down there. What is that, like the 11, 10-yard line, something like that? Now, I said I was going to talk about this when we got to the second play, but I don't know if this is an equipment manager problem here with this guy's helmet, if it's him not putting it on the correct way, what's going on there. But you see right there, he takes a pretty hard shot to the back of the head, and that helmet comes flying off of him. I don't know, man. I saw that helmet come off of him twice yesterday. The reason why this is a problem, of course, is this would have been a touchdown had that helmet stayed on. This was reversed. This was a touchdown first, or called a touchdown first, and reversed once that helmet came off because the play dies the second this helmet comes off. Now, that's an obvious problem. Like, we need to fix that and make sure, first of all, that he's protected, because that's the number one thing, is making sure that the quarterback stays without injury. Number two, we want all plays that we can get points out of to continue to happen. 3, we don't want to see that kid's head hit the ground like that either without a bonnet on it. I mean, come on, man. We can't let that happen. The equipment manager should have a sit down today with somebody and make sure that Jayden's helmet is right. And I know there's people out there that like these design runs, but whatever. Design run here. He takes a couple of hits, gets in for a touchdown though. You know, a lot of people talk about the dinkiness of this guy, the 6'4", 220 some pounds or whatever. He's a lanky guy, and yeah, he looks kind of skinny when you look at him, but he can take some hits. He can roll off of it. He has yet to really sustain a major injury. I do not want to say that. I do not like saying that. I am knocking on wood as I say that. But he got to 6, right? I mean, how much more can I complain about a guy when he actually gets to 6 points? Last play I'm going to look at here. This was the 2-point conversion, or the failed 2-point conversion. They tried to throw it to McCaffrey. I feel like this was something that they forced. You know, if he looks back across the field right here, I mean, we see that he's already in motion, right? So we can back it up a little bit. And you see before he goes into motion, if he looks over here, Zach Ertz is wide open. There's our 2-point conversion right here, Jayden. You know, these are things that he's going to see on film. You know, he's probably already seen on film as of right now. Maybe he's gone through his AI machine that they hooked up for him and done that VR, that virtual reality, and seen this right here, this play, because this is 2 points that they missed. And I'm not even trying to say that this wasn't a good play, because, you know, McCaffrey made the catch. He just didn't get his feet in. But, you know, you want to do things as easy as possible, and his eyes should be surveying the entire field right there, not just stuck on McCaffrey. You know, Ertz being open right there. I mean, not that the 2 points would have helped us all that much, but still. But look, guys, I have mixed reviews on the game overall, but I will say that it was nice to see Jayden Daniels come out and not make any turnovers. You know, I think he almost had 100 yards rushing, something like 16 carries for, I don't know, what was it, 90 yards, a couple touchdowns. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there, stat geeks, that love to see that. Like, somebody out there probably got him on their fantasy team and loved for him to be able to get those 2 touchdowns and almost 100 yards rushing and whatever. I don't play fantasy anymore. I haven't played in 3 years, but, you know, I'm more paying attention to what he does as a passer and how he progresses each week. I feel like the rushing yards are always going to be there on plays that break down, or maybe even, you know, playing rushing, you know, the things that I've been talking about already about not liking that much. But the team overall needs to find that cohesiveness, you know. I don't think that him and his receivers are on the same page yet. Maybe he's not seeing the field all the way yet. He's just a rookie. This is his first game. So I'm willing to cut him some slack on that. The things that I'm not willing to cut slack on is the sliding. Now, to me, that starts with the coach, that ends with the player. The coach can only preach it. The player has to do it. So in that split second, they have to train him to be able to get down. It's just the way that the game works. And I've talked about it at length here on this video, so I'm not going to keep going on. But there's just some things that they have to correct with that. And at the same time, I see flashes of a brilliant player here. So I am definitely looking forward to them getting it all together. There were a couple times that the offensive line did not do their job, but overall, it looks like the line pretty much set him up to be, you know, successful on most plays. I'm not going to say all, and I am going to revisit the offensive line film. You know, the film from this game, possibly tomorrow, to try to get more out of it and see what the offensive line did as a unit, and not just concentrate solely on Jayden and what he did. But look, guys, obviously we don't want to lose football games. You know, we definitely don't want to lose by 3 scores, you know. But overall, I was glad to not see the ball get turned over, and I was glad to see that our rookie quarterback hung in there and kept fighting. He didn't give up, and he didn't make dumb mistakes. At any rate, let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments, and do me a favor. Reach up there and hit that like button. And if you've made it this long in the video and you're not subscribed, I don't even know what to say anymore to you guys. Like, you need to hit that subscribe button, and maybe even think about hitting the notification button, hitting that bell, and just, you know, if you're the type of person that wants to make sure you don't miss any videos. And I will always tell everyone, I am open to donations. If you want to leave a tip, that's up to you. Y'all take it easy. Peace.